Gillian. I mean, I agree with pretty much everything my colleagues have said, so I'll come at it with a slightly different angle. Is there a need to reset aspects of capitalism? I think yes, there probably is. But one of the things that, you know, in a lot of the discussion, and even in Martin Wolf's argument as well, was everything has been labelled and tarred with the same brush, and actually what we're really talking about is the financial sector and particularly derivatives of the financial sector, and also the challenge in taxing digital goods and the challenge in having a fair taxation system across the world that actually taxes things that are not tangible. And we all know we have a taxation system which is built largely around goods and property, and therefore it's a double whammy. The old models getting all the tax and the new models getting away with all of the tax. However, that doesn't mean that there is a bit of a false narrative building up from business in general, and that's obviously you know, our political opponents who, you know, I honestly think they believe profits are bad unless they are in their pockets. And of course, profits are just a result of a lot of investment, a lot of risk, a lot of failure, and some reward eventually. In terms of businesses, you know, I've worked for 30 years in business, in multinational corporate businesses, before becoming an MP 2 years ago. And I would say that I've always had a high degree of regard for all the businesses I've worked for. General Motors, NatWest Bank, which became RBS, MasterCard, Amadeus, which is a company based out in Madrid. They were all big, they were all successful, they were all global, but they all did a huge amount to be responsible businesses. So first of all, they invested in apprenticeships, massively invested in apprenticeships at many different levels. They paid for every bit of my education. I left school at 16, became an apprentice with General Motors in the car factory, not far from here. They paid for all my education up to degree level. They would have sponsored me to go on to whatever else. I left and went somewhere else. But every bit of education I've had has been funded by the business sector. Not only that, they provided me with all the training and all the support that I needed to come from a working class background in just outside Liverpool to actually get to the top of business. And they did that for many, many people. And I think that's something that is forgotten. One of the things that I'm very keen on is actually to I know we've got the apprenticeship levy, but to actually make that work much better, because the quality of the apprentices coming out of the apprenticeship levy are not like my one was 30 years ago. So I think that businesses need to be you know, much part of the answer in making sure young people have the right skills. Of course, you know, we've had a technological shift. We had the internet, and now we've had the shift to digital, and then the next one will come with artificial intelligence and robotics. And anytime you get that shift, you have consolidation, which it is difficult to know whether the market's really working, because they're platform players. And they're actually, the winner takes all in a way, because it's actually us that are the marketplace. The people are the marketplace. And business models have turned on their head. Profit used to be about selling something, creating something, selling something, and competing with others. Actually, business models have turned on their head. Actually, we are now the good in many cases. The data that is being generated from our pointless browsing, or actually less than pointless browsing,